So it has been quite a long time since the last video that I recorded. As you can see, my hair has gotten longer and the format has changed a little bit. I recorded the previous episodes quite a while back, as you can tell. They're still relevant, everything's still fine with them, so just know that there's nothing wrong with those episodes. They're not like old, they're just like from like a year ago or something. I would probably get a bunch of comments in the description if I didn't mention that, so just thought that was sort of relevant to say in the beginning of this video here. So today we're going to talk about something called a break and a continue statement inside PHP. And this is the last episode before we actually start doing something that is relevant, like some practical examples inside your PHP website. So in the next episode, we're going to start doing something that will actually allow you to see some changes inside your website using PHP code. Hey, as you can see in front of me here, I do have a basic example of a piece of code. This is a loop. We talked about that in the previous episode. And inside this example, I have a variable a that is equal to 1. And I also have a loop, which is a while loop, that has a condition inside of it that says a needs to be lesser than or equal to 10. Otherwise, this loop is not going to run. So inside the loop, I simply echo out a. And I just increase it by 1 every single time we loop through it. And I also included a if statement. Inside this if statement here, I have a condition that says is a equal to 5, then go ahead and break this loop here. Now the break statement basically goes in and says, okay, we have a loop running and it doesn't matter how many times we still need to loop this loop. We're going to break out of this loop and we're going to stop running it, which basically means that we can take a loop like this one and just simply say, well, we need a condition to stop the loop, which is relevant in some different cases that you might want to do in the future when it comes to creating, a website. But now there's also a couple of other examples that we need to look at, because what if you have something called a nested statement? Now a nested statement basically means that you have a loop inside a loop, which means that you nest a loop inside another loop. That makes sense. And what we can do here is we can say, well, okay, so if I have this loop like I do in this example here, that simply increases a by 1 and continues to run as long as a exists inside our code. Now this is something that's quite bad, because this is basically what we call a infinite loop. Now an infinite loop is something that is going to crash your browser, or it might crash your PC or something. It's not dangerous, but it is something we want to avoid. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and say, well, okay, inside this loop, we want to echo out a, which basically means that we're getting, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on until infinite. And I also wanted to include another loop inside this loop here. Now, the second while loop that is nested inside the first one has a condition that says, okay, if a is greater than or equal to 10, then we want to break one more time. Now, if I'd broken it like I did in the previous example, we would just simply break out of the nested while loop, because the break only works inside the loop that is inside of. So by adding the break statement here without any sort of optional parameters afterwards, it wouldn't break the infinite loop that we're also inside of. So what we can do to make this break affect not just the nested while loop, but also the outer one, is we can add a optional parameter behind it. So in this case here, I added a 2, which basically means that I want to add a break to 2 levels of loops that might be going on right now. So while we're breaking the first one, which is the one that we're inside of right now, which is the a is greater than or equal to 10 loop, we're also breaking out of the outer one, which is the infinite loop. So by adding this optional parameter, you can sort of control how many loops you want to break out of that are nested inside each other. And in this last example here, we also have something called a continue statement. Now, to understand what a continue statement is, I just want to refresh what exactly a iteration means. So when we have a loop, we have iterations happening, which basically means that each time you loop is called an iteration, right? So with a continue statement, we can do something that's a little bit similar to the break statement, except with this one, we don't actually stop the loop from running, we're just skipping an iteration. So if I were to take this example here, where it's pretty similar to the other ones, we have a while statement or a while loop that says that as long as a is lesser than 10, we want to echo out a. So in this case here, we're saying that we want to echo out 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But I also added in an if statement that says, okay, but if a is equal to 5, then I want to add a continue statement, which basically means that we're skipping that particular iteration or that particular loop if a is equal to 5. So in this case here, we'll be getting something like 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. for example, because we're skipping the 5th one. So inside the browser, if we were to actually echo this out, like I said, we were getting 2, 3, 4, and then skipping 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's basically how we can use a continue statement. And I should also mention we can also add a optional parameter behind the continue statement, just like with the break statement. So if you have a nested loop inside another inside a loop, we can actually go ahead and not just affect the current loop, but also affect the one on the outside. So that's something important to note here. And that's basically what I wanted to talk about in this episode here. In the next one, like I said, we're going to talk about how to include files inside other files or documents inside other documents. And this is something that you will actually be able to use inside your websites. To come with an example, let's say you made a website using purely HTML and CSS, maybe some JavaScript in there. If you were to make a website like this, you would have, for example, a header that has a navigation inside of it, maybe a company logo. That particular header you might have on every single page inside your website, because it's a typical thing inside websites that the header continues and repeats itself on all the different pages without changing. So what we can do is we can actually take the header, put inside one document, and then simply reference to that header from all the pages inside our website. And the reason that is a really awesome thing to do is because if I want to make a change to the header at some point, I don't have to go inside every single page inside my website or inside my documents and change the header in there. Instead, we can just basically go inside the header file and change the file in one place, and then the whole website changes when it comes to the header. So that is one example of something that is actually pretty cool when it comes to adding in different files together. We do also use it when we want to combine PHP documents together, or if we need to have some PHP code available inside another document, but that's something we'll get to. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.